Hello and welcome to your Gaia Blooming GPS. This is your weekly navigation, tarot and oracle navigation through the Astro Week. And I'm here with Nicole Oman.
Hi.
And I'm Mimi, and we're going to just dive in. We have an easy week, relatively easy week, shift-wise. Coming down from this eclipse, that eclipse was huge. So I think like the week after a big event, it's always about just integrating. So we're starting today, Tuesday, September 29th, and we're starting with the moon shifting into Taurus. So moon in Taurus is an opportunity to get grounded and really dive into your senses. Taurus is sensual in the way that it loves to smell, taste, touch, see. I know I'm missing senses. And I also include the sixth sense in this. I saw Nikki just light up. I'm curious. Anyways, the cards, the Osho cards I pulled for this. Let's talk about sensual. Here is a pregnant, sensual mama. Patience. You know, the earth signs. We have Mars in Virgo. The sun's moved into Libra. And then moon in Taurus. And Pluto is now direct in Capricorn. So we've got actually like Earth, Grand Trine Earth energy. It's saying be patient. Stuff is coming through. Get into your senses. Feel in the moment. Feel through what's going on for you. And if you can get patient, if you can get into your senses, you get success. The stuff you want, your manifestations, they're coming. You gotta get grounded. You gotta get earthy. And from the goddesses, I actually pulled Rhiannon, sorceress. You're a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. I think that's one of my hardest things with manifesting is like, I'm like, I want this. Where is it? I'm a fire sign. I expect it now. I expect it now. I expect it now. The patience thing is something that I've really learned through this last year. Getting grounded, getting patient, taking the steps that you need to take to make it happen. But allowing it the time and not getting discouraged. I think that's the other thing. Know that the success is imminent, you know, and that's what they say, you know, in manifesting. Know that it's already done. The success has happened. It's happening. The universe is working out for you. You're a powerful sorceress. Have the patience. Nicole?
So you just reminded me something in a meditation that I had last night, and this is really important. I actually want you to go ahead and show that pregnancy card.
Pregnancy card right here.
Okay. Go ahead and say so they could see.
Oh, yeah. Here it is. Everybody look.
Okay, so I want you to notice now that you've seen it, her hands are underneath the belly. So here's what I want to say. And this is an awareness that my guides gave to me last night about manifesting. They keep showing me that I'm manifesting to a certain degree. And I'm manifesting almost exactly what I asked for, but not quite. About 80%, right? But I keep like missing that last piece. And this is why. Because there are layers of manifestation. First, it's the inspiration. Then it's the plan, the thoughts. Then over here, it's the water. And down here, where her hands were, that belly, is the earth, right? So the Taurus. It's like you have to bring it all the way into your body, physically into your body. So you got to feel it in every cell, not just because a lot of us spiritual people like to stay in the heart, and we like to stay in the third eye, and we say how many great, please connect with your third eye and your heart. Well, great, that's fabulous. But if you really want to manifest it, we have to get it down in this like feminine, this pregnancy place, the womb, even all the way down into the vagina. And yes, I said it. And you know, for the men, all the way down to the testicles. That is where your creation lives. That's where your seed lives. And ours lives, you know, our receptivity is in our vagina. So we have to let it go all the way down and feel it all the way down to actually manifest it in the way that we want it to, and not just like to here.
Yeah.
This is our comfort zone, right? Or this is great. We've spiritual beings. We know this. You're also a human. And to manifest it, the beautiful thing about human is if you're a spiritual being, you're still just light. Physical being, you're a human. You have to manifest it physically. sorry.
I
Going on.
give you a little plug, actually, because I did Nicole's Artist Way class. And that was something that we actually noticed during the Artist Way class, because like we did, not to give too much away or make the story too long, but we did collages. And there is no brown in mine. There was like a little hint of brown. There was like a little hint of beach. I had beach on there, and that was it. That was the only earth, and everything was like high vibrations and like from the heart and all me, but no earth. And you know, that's something that I recognize. Like I'm like brown earth, and I keep, see if I can reach it. I keep my little symbol for the class was a little cactus. She needs a little water with her brown earth, who sits by me to remind me, actually, to bring it down physically. And I got that from Artist Way, which Nicole is starting very soon, and I highly recommend it. So plug in the middle.
Yeah, October 6th. And honestly, you know, they really told me, well, the reason why is because you're not bringing it all the way down. If you really want it, you have to bring it all the way in. All the way in and receive it all the way down. So that's my tip to you. If you really want to manifest all this work and all this love and all this fun, like heart stuff, we have to bring it down here. Don't get scared of this. This is where our power is. I think that's what the full moon was trying to tell you. You know, this feminine aspect of like, don't hide from this part. This is really where your power lives. And the men, it's been such a penis directed earth for such a long way. But really, I think the power is in, I know I'm going there today. The power is in the creative nature. It's underneath, even though it's not as attractive looking and, you know, whatever. That's where your creation lives. So the men, sorry, you know, I'm going there. The men are need to get in their testicles in their creation. And this goes very good with the cards that I picked. And the women need to get in their womb and manifest that way. Oh. So the ones I got was turning in. So when you have all those voices still, I'm still getting a lot of like abundance, money stuff. Bah, bah, bah. You're not making enough. You're not bringing enough in. So the only way to calm that is you got to turn in, and you just got to know that that's the mind, and that's all these society things of like, you've got to worry about it, because if you worry about it, you'll figure it out. Yeah. And that's actually not the truth. Okay. And then I have creativity, right? I just talked about that pregnancy, but getting in that creative energy to really manifest. And then adventure, starting, and this is the Page of Pentacles. This is starting a new journey in physicality, a new money adventure, a new business venture. So this is really good. I got, for these, I got assistance. Don't forget to ask for help. We need help sometimes. And simplicity. The best way to manifest something is being very clear and being very simple. The simpler it is, the easier it is to manifest. So maybe your dream got a little too like, then I want this, and then I want this, and then I want this, and then I want this. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's scale it back a bit, and let's start here. Simplify it. And once it's simplified, they're like, oh, we'll give you that step first. Great, that's easy. Boom. Now what do you need? Oh, good. Next step 2. Boom. And so you manifest it in steps. Don't manifest the like retreat center before you're ready for it. Like, what's the first thing? Kind of saying that to myself. What's the first thing that you need to do? Simplify it that way. That went way longer than I was expecting. But.
Yeah, that's okay. It's good. Moon and Taurus happens. So tomorrow, not a huge event. It happens ever so often. We have the Sun conjunct Mercury. We're going to have a few more of those. I think it's important because Mercury is actually retrograde. I think this is dealing more with this relationship stuff that we're working on. You know, the moon really brought up relationship stuff. We're finishing up some relationship cycles with the North Node in Libra. And I love this because, you know, Mercury retrograde in Libra is a great time to review your relationships with yourself, and maybe the relationships that you're holding onto. And so the cards I got were guilt and clinging to the past. And you can't have one without the other. You know, this guilt card, if you are carrying guilt about any relationship in your life that has ever happened, you are clinging to the past. You're clinging to this old thing, and you're not allowing it to move on, to evolve, to shift into what it can evolve into. I actually highly recommend one of Nicole's favorite processes in releasing this, releasing yourself from this cycle, releasing them, their energy from this cycle, and that is the Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. You can't do anything to change the past. The past, it's happened. Those things that you're carrying the guilt for, it has happened. Carrying it is not going to change it. But what you can do is release yourself from that karmic energy. Release yourself from, oh, I made a mistake. Oh, well, you're human. You made a mistake. And maybe it wasn't a mistake. Maybe it was a lesson. So it's time to, in these next, week and a half left of Mercury retrograde, to release yourself from these old relationships where you don't feel like you did enough. I feel like I have so many people coming to me right now, the relationships ending, and they're saying, maybe I didn't do enough. Maybe I didn't try hard enough. And that's not true. You showed up, you learned your lessons, you got to release yourself. And from the goddesses, I think this is for you. Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearance is. Love yourself through it. You are enough. You did enough. Let it go. It's not helping you or them. Nicole?
I'm going to shamelessly plug myself again. So what I think what we're going to do, like what I'm going to do maybe after this, after we post it, maybe in the comment section, I have a video on the Ho'oponopono that you can see. I'm writing a book on it, and I'm actually writing a very practical book on it where you can take yourself and a trauma or a relationship through the book and be able to clear it. So the book would probably take you a day to read it, and you'll be able to clear these things with the book. So look out for that. I mean, hopefully that'll be out in the next year. So, but I'll let you have the video. But if you're interested in that, sign up for my mailing list. Know that that's going to come out, and it's something that really will help. Sorry, I'm shamelessly plugging myself today.
No, shameless. It's good. I guess shameless, but no shame. But we'll also put it in the daily blog. So if you're looking for it, that's a good place to find it too. And the daily blogs with our GPS, I'll put the video as well.
Yeah, that's good. Because, the Ho'oponopono I really love. It's so, talk about simplistic. It's simple. It gets you out of your head and lets you just kind of do that. So mine too were we are the world and experiencing. And then I got the right order card. The right order card always reminds me of the Ho'oponopono because the translation for the word is to set right order. We got to put it back together. Because when we are feeling that guilt and we're clinging to the past, what if you could externalize that and if you didn't have, it's a mess, really. Guilt looks messy. So we got to put it back in alignment. And with that alignment, what I love is because the Ho'oponopono teaches us that we are all one and we're all connected. And that we are one, the same word means the same thing, right? So we are one and we are one. We are one and we are one. We are an individual, but we are all connected. We are one and we are one. And it's the same word. And that's important. So the work that you do, the experience that you have as an individual is connected to the whole. So this Sun conjunct Mercury in Libra, what I'm getting for this is you doing the work and having the relationship with yourself is going to heal the relationships with others. It's going to heal the relationship even on a global scale. Also, it's notice with the right order card, I want to say notice your relationship with everything. Notice your relationship with money. Does that need to shift? Are you worrying about it too much? Or if you're worrying, you're putting stress on that relationship. Allow it to support you. Allow it to allow you to love what it gives you. Because everybody demonizes money. Money is the root of all evil. It's not. Greed in the way that humans relate to that energy is what is out of alignment, not money itself. Money is neutral. Money is energy. So you start having a better relationship with money, then money's going to support you better. You can't treat money terribly and think that it's going to treat you nice. You can't be scared of money and think it's going to treat you kindly. You have to treat all these relationships. That's the same thing around food. That's the same thing about drugs, alcohol, like physical human relationship and interaction. Look at all the different relationships in your life on Thursday or on Wednesday, and see where maybe that old quote, you know, shift your thought, shift your life. Shift your relationship first, and then maybe that other thing, even if it's not a human, like your money, might treat you differently.
Love that. You know, I had a client who always would write on her checks, money is love. And I love that. I really like internalize that because, you know, there is so many money triggers. So I really appreciate that. So next, we're moving into October on Thursday. Wow, October. And the moon shifts into Gemini. I didn't pull October cards, but I did pull moon and Gemini cards. And they're very interesting. They're not what I usually associate with Gemini. And I was like, okay, well then after this, what happens? And then what happens? And then what happens? And I came up with the mind card, the fighting card, the thunderbolt card, the sorrow card, the stress card, and finally the rebirth card.
Holy moly.
Holy moly. Like, I mean, let's deal with this. But mind, I mean, the fact that mind came up first is like, totally. Gemini energy can put you in the mind. We do have Mercury retrograde, and Mercury retrograde is not a demon, but it can, you know, the astro is always helping you. I firmly believe that. There are challenges, and that's okay. And there are challenges, and this might be your cue with the moon in Gemini during this time. Moon in Gemini, it's going to be squaring Mars. It's going to be opposite Saturn and Sagittarius. Your mind could potentially be all over the place and bringing this stuff up, looking at the change. We just went through so much change with this eclipse, you know, and it's not always at once. Sometimes those dominoes have to fall down and around before they reach your being. The fighting. You know, you might be fighting with yourself. You might be fighting with your mind. The stress. Stress, I liken this. I mean, this card's always take your monkey out for the walk, which I always say, take your mind out, you know, give it a rest, get it in nature. But this also could very much be your resistance to what's unfolding, the changes that have come from this thunderbolt, and, you know, the sorrow that you feel from these changes. I know personally, I have been going through much transformation. I have been letting go of so much stuff. And this all has been very much my process. The sorrow of letting go. The feeling of like, my life's in upheaval. Where am I? Who am I? The sorrow for what got left behind. The dreams that have shifted and changed. What was left behind. And then the stress. It causes some stress if you let your mind go crazy. But this is all part of the miracle of the rebirth card, the new you, that new vision of what you really want. Because to be fair, where my life was not what I wanted. I thought I was building what I wanted, but some major stuff had to shift. And so remember that this is part of the rebirth. And if it gets stressful, if you find yourself in your head processing everything that's going wrong, give yourself a break. Take your monkey out for a walk. My favorite thing, get out in nature, breathe, and remember that this is the nature of rebirth. And from the goddesses, remind us, Yemenya, this is a golden opportunity, and important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. So if you find yourself in this place of like, life, you know, this moon stuff has come on, piled onto you, this is your opportunity to shift into where you are going. It's a beautiful thing, even if it feels hard. And I love it. That's the card. I've been pulling cards on Pinterest every night because I'm so excited that I have my cards. And I pulled an Abraham card last night, and it says, everything is always working out for me. And the wisdom is this contrast, these hard things. You may not like it, but appreciate it because it is showing you the contrast of what you don't want so you can move into what you do want. There's a golden opportunity in everything. So accept and appreciate that.
So what I got, and I got this when you were talking to, and what I got here. So I have, what I'm getting for this energy is we are about to get to a completion of something. And this is where you've self-sabotaged in the past. You are in your innermost cave. You're the darkest before dawn. You're the dark night of the soul. And what happens is when you get closer and closer and closer to the rebirth or the golden opportunity, what happens is all the little gremlins are going to come in, and all the threshold guardians and all the dragons, right? In storytelling, when you look at any movie that you like, look, the antagonist almost wins. You think the antagonist is going to take out the hero right at the end. Look at any movie you love, and you think like all is lost, and all of a sudden they go in, they get their inner strength, and they find it, and they break through that thunderbolt. They break through that, and they also, have the rebirth, and they get their awareness. So what I had on mine was, then I have the opposite. I have another self-saboteur behavior. Right before it's about to be finished, you get lazy. And you don't allow the change to happen. Because you think you've done enough. But you've done, like I said in the beginning, you've done 80, 90%. And then you're like, oh, I did it good enough. F that. Don't let that mind, don't let the monkey, don't let all of these different freaking things, stress and all of this. I can't do it. I can't do it. 80, 90% is good enough. No, it's not. We have to get to completion. And then I got the confidence card. You can do this. You got this. All you need to overcome this bullshit story of laziness, of being content when the work's not done yet. And then your mind comes in, the monkey comes in, the fighting comes in, the external excuses. Oh, I fought with them. I'm too tired to go on. You can go on. You must go on. You must go through the change, and you must complete what you started. Get through the innermost cave. You got it. You can slay the demon. And then after you realize what you slayed, you realize it's you integrate it, and it's over. Then you're good. Then you go on the next journey. And it's not happily ever after. Sorry, Disney, it's not. It's just the beginning. It's the beginning of the next journey. But you learn so much.
The beginning of the next journey. Hey, moon in Cancer on Saturday. Kali, endings and beginnings. The end of the old, the beginning of the new. And guess what else? The other card I pulled? Change. So you're continuing this. You're continuing. I feel like you took this wisdom, you got through moon in Cancer, and it's interesting, the cards that I pulled, control, and I feel like this is one of those places where we get into that hold us back from that finishing thing. We get into control. Like, I think that I can control how this is going to happen. This is fine here where it is. I'm going to just sit. And meanwhile, the universe is like, hey, you're resisting. Find that harmony. Find your flow. Find your flow into where you want to go. It's okay if it's changed. These are endings and beginnings. This is meant to be. All life is endings and beginnings. Everything is an ending and a beginning. In every second, you have an ending and a beginning. Your heart is beating. It's sending your blood out. It's a beginning of the journey for that blood, and then it comes back. You breathe in and you breathe out. It's an ending and a beginning. These are happening all over the place. Cancer loves to stay secure. Cancer wants to be like, this is where I feel comfortable. I'm not really that comfortable, but I'm safe. I'm kind of safe. Oh, I'm not really that safe. This is breaking through. This reminds me of the poem, The Day Came, where I'm probably not going to get it right, but to remain in the bud was more painful than it was to break free, to bloom. And this is what this week is asking you to do. You can't just stop, like Nicole said, with that eclipse energy. The eclipse energy doesn't end it. Now is when the real work happens. We were in the intensity, learning lessons, but now we have to really walk the talk of those changes, of those lessons, of these things that we felt, like she said, integrating them. So, this week we kind of wanted to ease off, and it's not. There's still work to be done. You still have to find your harmony within yourself, and there's still some endings, beginnings that are happening, and it's all okay. The old must be released so that the new can enter. It's okay. It's not always easy, and it's okay that it's not easy.
We focus on the supreme ordeal. And And the supreme ordeal was that blood moon. So we all had our awareness around this blood full moon, right? And so this is what happened in my life. And so I'm going to use this kind of as a metaphor. I've been looking forward to going to New York and doing this workshop with Hay House for 2 months. And all the energy was built around that. And happenstance, it was the same day as the blood full moon. So all of that was pointing that to me. But all that gave me was more information, more things of, okay, so this what is actually what needs to be done. Here's your structure. This is what you need to focus on. So good luck. Now the hard work begins. So the awarenesses are allowed to come up on that weekend. That's what happened. We realized a lot of times, most of us, I think, the big thing that I found was come into your power, trust your feminine, get back into your feminine power, like that vagina energy, really, like get into your creative power and don't let people knock you off of that and all of that. But then also, Nikki, it's time step by step to do the work. So what I'm getting at is exactly what Mimi is trying to say here is, yes, we got the awareness. Yes, the blood full moon came up. But now you got the awarenesses. Now it's time to strap on the backpack and go on your hike. Do your work. Get your weight loss goals done. Get the business up and going. Get the relationship. Do the necessary steps that you got in that blood full moon. And you have to put them into action now. So what I got, you're going to laugh, Mimi, of all these cards. Thunderbolt. Breakthrough. Moment to moment, the master.
Yeah.
So this moon in Cancer shift, and I'm just going to say Saturday. Saturday, I really want you to look at some last bit of like something, the ship might go down, something might be blasted, the relationship might break up, you get a harsh truth, you might have a fight with a friend, but it's not a bad thing. Stay in the moment. It's not a bad thing because you're going to break through. Oh, I am showing up that way. I am not being a good friend. I do have to break up with that relationship. I do have to put my pen on that paper and start writing. You know what I mean? So having that breakthrough, because you're supposed to master this, and not in an ego way, because I also see the master being very close to that innocence card of like also being very lovely, and also the master is also willing to be the beginner and learn and not know everything and not have a full cup. But the master is there to be present with what is coming up and be able to work through it. I got the change of mind card, and it's not in the book. It's not what it sounds like you're going to change your mind to something else. And that might be the case. But what it's saying is that your mind is changing. So what you used to resonate after having that thunderbolt and that breakthrough, maybe what you thought was important will change. Also, when your mind changes, you're getting in a higher vibration. And so your mind might feel cloudy, and you start going on instinct instead of thinking it all the way through. And you're like, I don't know. It's just a knowing. I know I have to do this. Trust that more. Trust that, because your mind maybe is changing, meaning it's allowing you to viscerally trust yourself, trust your body, trust your instincts, trust your gut, trust this part of yourself instead of just this mind energy. Because this is gonna be more in tune. This is gonna be more in line with what is actually going on than this will be. Because this likes to tuck you in and out of things all the time. But this is more consistent. The body's more consistent.
It's so true. Yeah.
It takes a lot more effort to change your body than it does to change your mind. Right? Like if you want to lose weight, ask anybody who's been on a weight loss journey. It takes a lot more work to get this thing to change itself. So that means it's more consistent. It will always show up in your way of telling you where you're in or out of alignment. To trust this more. Trust the body.
Yes, definitely. Love that. Do you want to pull a card for October, or do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. I was thinking that when you said it's an October shift.
I can't believe we hit October. All right. So the cards I pulled for October. We are the world. They're kind of everywhere. Comparison and courage. I take this we of the world thing, October, we begin October with Libra energy. Libra energy, relationships. And that's the thing that I really concentrate on the blood moon. Never escape relationships. You are always going to be in relationship. Even if you're a hermit, you are in relationship with nature, with yourself, with the energy that humans are putting out all over the place. You're never really apart from it. So, like Nikki was saying I don't remember which day it was, but, yourself and the world, your relationship with yourself, your relationship. What were you saying exactly? It was in my head. And I was,
we are one and we are one. We are one.
That was it. You're one and we are one. Yes. I love that. So remember that. And speaking of we are one and we are one, comparison. We're not here to be like everybody else. And I think that's kind of one of those Libra things. Libra loves to see the beauty. Libra will look at the beauty of everyone else. Scorpio, which we move into in later in October. Scorpio can be like this too, with that comparison, like, oh, they're good and I'm bad. It's not like that. You're you and they're them. And finding the beauty, finding the strengths. There's a book that I read from B School. Now focus on your strengths. And the theory in that is, hey, a lot of people work on what they're not great at, and that's where they think that they're going to get their strengths from. And they say, hey, what if you focus on the things you're strong on and build that up? I feel like that's what this card is saying for Libra. Don't worry about what you're not good at. Don't focus on that. There's plenty of people who do that in the world. Look at your strengths. Your strength may be that you're rooted in, you're grounded in, or your strength may be like the bamboo, that you're able to flow. Whatever your strength is, enjoy it, enhance it, and have the courage to stand up as who you are. Have that courage. Libra can be a time of pleasing. Like, I want to please everybody else. I want to have that harmony. Don't worry about that. Stand up for who you are. Focus on your strength. Don't compare yourself to what the world thinks you should be. Focus on your strength. Have the strength to stand up, because the world needs your color. The world needs your flavor. Everybody brings their own vibration, and that's so great. And I feel like our world's going to shift when we really all just stand up and be who we are. And the final card from the goddesses, independent, vast. And man, if there's a beast that knows how to stand up and be who it is cat energy. It is that independent energy. Like, I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to throw up on this rug. I don't care if you don't want me to. I'm going to do it because that's who I am. And it can be playful and it can be fun. It can be sensual. Remember Bast. Call her in. I think this is such a powerful time over these next 2 years with Saturn and Sagittarius to call in your helpers, to call in your committee, to call in your round table of higher masters that bring in this vibration, that can help you bring in this vibration. So use a little Bast in your life this week and see how she influences you. You don't even have to know about her. Just call her in and be like, Bast, help me. And then let it come through you and be on the prowl like a cat. And I don't know, just enjoy yourself. Nicole?
Well, I also got the courage card. So, I love that. And what was I going to say about the comparison card? I forget. It flipped out of my head. So if it's important, then it will come back to me. So I have the courage card as well. And I also got, and this is for the beginning of October. So I did October Libra and October Scorpio. And October Libra is the union card. So be courageous in your unions. Be courageous in your relationships. Be courageous in your partnerships. And this is not just relationships, but yes, that's true. But when you're relating to someone, if you speak your truth, someone that you don't even imagine wanting to help you will be like, wow, you totally didn't kowtow to me. Cool, let's go. Like, thank you for being honest. But you have to be the courage to be yourself and allow yourself to be seen in that way. And in that way, you can start a new union. I mean, maybe even a new relationship. But you have to be courageous to ask for what you need. And you might get exactly what you want and exactly what you need. And then for the Scorpio one, I love this card for Scorpio because I have some Scorpio issues. I'll be completely transparent. I do. And because I have a Scorpio moon in a very high degree. So the Scorpio is in me, but when I don't own my Scorpio, I usually get stung by someone else. So I got the immunity card. So if someone is coming at you in the Scorpio energy, and you know what, honestly, Scorpio energy brings out some stingers. So if somebody's stinging at you and giving you some negative feedback or saying, you know, you're not good enough or not, you know, or you know, putting all their victim energy on you, it's all your fault. Some guys and be immune to that. Don't take it personally. Or if you do, take a Scorpio lesson, put some boundaries up. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to compromise yourself. You don't want to compromise yourself because of someone else's opinion. Stay in the moment because you really are ready. So don't let someone talk you out that you're not ready yet, or you're not good enough, or you're not worthy for this, or you're not, or their victim story, or them putting their guilt on you. No, you really are ready. Don't compromise yourself. Immune to that stuff, you know, own it, own yourself. The best way to be immune to it is be like, wait a minute, I'm going to put you on the shelf for a second. Who am I? Who am I? Not what she thinks I am or he thinks I am. Who am I? And then when you can really ground that, thank you for your feedback, but you know what? I know who I am, and I'm following my heart, and I am. That's where you get your power. That's where you get your power. Don't let their shit, crabs in a bucket, man. Yeah. Don't be a crab in a bucket, and don't let a crab in a bucket. Guess what happens to crabs sometimes when they get crab in a bucket, right? Their little legs fall off the back, but I think they regenerate them. So it's like, let that little leg fall off. Your whole self is not is going to get out of the bucket. You can lose a little sliver of your former self that will regenerate. You got to get out of the bucket. You got to get out of the bucket. Don't listen to anybody.
Totally. I love that.
And so it's a lesson, man. And I had an experience this weekend with somebody that I asked that question to, and I was like, how do you, she's in the public eye. And I said, how do you deal with negative feedback? And she goes, I don't get triggered. And I was like, and then it came out that, she let her husband delete the negative feedback. That's fine that, she puts a boundary that way, but be authentic with it, like really negative feedback. We're human, man. Negative feedback does affect us. It's like, it makes us go, wait a minute. Is that true? Or is it not? And then you gotta go into that discernment place to figure out what it is. It's okay to be triggered by it. It's okay to be honest about your triggers, but then turn around and really see how you can navigate that on your own. Because that's where your power lies. By avoiding it, yeah, that is a great boundary. Sometimes you just do, because some people are just a-holes. Sometimes there's some really good information in there of like, wait a minute, and a good opportunity to just be in your power.
Absolutely. So, for an easy week, we sure poured a lot into this week.
Man, Mimi, you and I have been intense lately.
Welcome to Gemini Rising. Saturn in our 7th. This happens. But you can find Nicole and I daily guidance. It's on the Gaia Blooming Facebook page, NicoleOmen.com. Check her out on Instagram. Check me out on Instagram. We have all kinds of fun things all over the place for you. Check out Nicole's Artist Way class. There's 2 ways you can do it, and I love that you're offering it this way. One way, you can be in class with the people, you know, really have direct input, direct feedback. Another way you can do it is just by watching the class. You can do it on your own time. Don't have to be as vulnerable to everybody else sharing your stuff in the class. It's a little less money. You know, it's so worth it to do it either way you do it. I encourage you to do it and share with people. You will develop relationships, but if you don't do it that way, there's this other way. And if that feels better for you, do it. Just do it.
Yeah, I give a lot of feedback. And I give a lot of feedback, and you get a lot of individual time. And what happens is when you start breaking through, it's so nice to have, because doing it on your own with the book, when you're breaking down and breaking through, without that support, me knowing what you're going through, you'll want to shut the book and just quit. But in the class, you'll have me, the group, the support, the energy. We hold the container. And when you have the breakthrough, I can give you that nice little, keep going, I got you. And when that happens, you can finally not have the excuse of like, oh, you know, sometimes you need your midwife or your doula to get you through those last little pushes. And that's, you know, that's kind of what the class is. It's I'm your life midwife. I'm your life midwife. I help you birth your life. I help you birth your purpose. And I like doing it, and I'm pretty decent at it. So, you know, and I've been teaching it for a long time, so I know it like the back of my hand. So if you feel called to it, take a step for yourself. I'm telling you, nurture your inner self. We are willing to do our hair and spend money on the salon and all of that, but the thing that really matters is this, taking care of this. You take care of this, and then you're not going to worry about what people think about you as much. Because this is what you can actually do. This is going to fade, but this is the important stuff.
And this will just keep glowing and glowing and glowing the more attention you put out to it. And so when this fades, it's still going to glow.
Yeah, this glows because this glows.
Right.
Like, just look at Maya Angelou before she passed away. That woman was probably one of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen in my entire life. This was still 80. She was beautiful. Her soul was beautiful.
I was actually looking at Dr. Wayne Dyer. I was watching one of his last recorded things, and I was like, wow, look at his skin. Look at his shine. Like, he was so vibrant. I was, you know, looking base medicine. Can I see any hints of like a heart attack coming? He was vibrant. It was his time to go. It was beautiful. And so I was like, yeah, it's just, this is how he left. That's cool. You know, like, I get it. Grow the soul. Take Nikki's class. And if you can't this time, there's going to be another time, but, you know, if you can do it, if your heart is calling, you talk to her. She's also doing a payment plan. So highly recommend it. But if you can't do it too, check us out. Keep growing yourself with us daily, because we both put stuff out on a daily basis, multiple ways, multiple places for you just to really get in touch with your feelings, what's going on, help yourself.
Well, yes. Thank you guys for showing up this week again, as we do every week. We got to show up for ourselves. And I hope we helped. I hope we gave you a little bit of clarity and a little more support. And a great week, guys.
Yeah. See you next week. Namaste.
Namaste.